Can I talk to y'all? It's Young, the one who do it. Numbers don't lie. That's the movement. Now let's get to it. Oschino, he going at Wayno once again over their past situations. He's just pulling up everything out of his receipts, man. He going in. Wayno, he also responded. I ain't know responded, but I seen he responded. I think it's on another page that he got. It's not on his main page, but we're going to get to that. We're going to get to the response. We're going to play part 2 of Oschino. We got a lot to do. We got a lot to work through. So lock in, y'all. Get y'all wine, unwind, you know what I'm saying? Get you some grub, you know what I mean? Roll that blunt up. Do whatever you got to do. Let's get right. Let's get into it right now. See what Oschino's talking about.
What's up, y'all? Wayno, I'm not done with you yet. I'm just getting started. I just finally looked at your first video you made because I never really looked at it. I just breezed through it and I called you from the rip before I looked at it. You on there just bona fide lying. You somehow keep saying I'm crashing out. If you
Oschino been on the internet crashing out weekly.
If you say I'm crashing out and I'm the one that put money in your pockets, why you ain't call me? You talk about me being on the internet, you ain't called me when I done gave you hundreds of dollars of bills in your palms of your hands. Well, I probably gave more money than your father. You never gave me nothing. You sitting over here talking about DE and all my enemies. You know Meek Mill's through me.
His problems with Meek Mill at all. I did meet Meek Mill through Oschino.
You know me. I hope no Meek Mill. Get off Meek Mill's. Bro, you see Meek Mill's get on the stage and say, yo, I looked up Beans when I was rapping. I looked up to you. At the freeway, I looked up to PD Craig.
Up to you in the prop. Chris, Free. Everybody but the I'm on that like that. PD Craig. Everybody knows this.
When I wasn't popping, hey yo, I need a verse. Oschino, let me get a verse. Oschino's the first nigga to do a verse with me before y'all have even heard of me. Oschino was the first nigga. He was popping at the time. None of these other really did a verse with me when I was popping at the time.
He probably we got one song with Beans, one song with Freeway, one song with PD Crack, 19 songs with me. 19 songs with me. So he ain't gotta say he look at me. He know what it is. When he look in the mirror, he know I'm his dad. And I'm your grandpa. You said I'm 50 years old, so Jay-Z not hot no more? I see you DE and Jay-Z. I see you DE and Conway. So why you hating on me, bro? The person that put money in your pockets. No, I say put money in your pockets. I'm talking about you ain't do nothing to earn it. I just gave it to you. But the craziest part about all of it, see this thing about how I knew you a chump, Wayno. If somebody owe me 100,000, that's the first person I'm talking about. Nobody else. Dave gave me 100,000. Shout out to Dave East. You don't owe me 100,000. It held me down and all that. You say, yo, at least give me a beans.
On Fiverr, you can find the perfect freelancer to help.
Yo, it's getting a little crazy, man. It's getting a little crazy. This is real personal. I don't know, man. I'm starting to think different. I used to really like Wayno, though. I thought he was solid. But we gonna
at least giving you beans that, nobody died. Bro, shut up. Kelly said something to me first, and mind you ain't even from Philly. Mind your business. How about that? You keep worried about what I'm doing. You keep posting me because you need the clicks from me. I don't talk about you. And if I talked about you, it's going to be in a good light because I'm thorough. I don't fake it. See, let me tell you what I think it was. He keeps talking about, I was so young. I was young, too. You're not that much younger than me, bro.
Man, these niggas only 3 years apart. Yeah, that's not enough for him to really be like an OG to you like that. He 3 years apart. Y'all basically in the same bracket.
I just getting to it. You never seen nobody getting to it like I was getting to it at that age. So this is what she was mad about. I was rough around the edges. I was out here busting my pistol. I'm drinking 40s. I'm living reckless. But I had the bag. And you probably was sitting there watching me thinking you a better person than me. Like, oh yeah, I don't understand why he got to have it all.
Philly dudes is funny, man. That's what rough around the edges mean. Nah, you was a demon, nigga. Just be honest. You was outside. You was one of the first YNs.
and I gotta need him to be okay, and I feel like I'm better than him. But see, I'm so thorough, I never seen the snake in you because I don't think like that. See, a thoroughbred can't think like a sucker. A sucker shows his true colors, then a thoroughbred peep it. But before that, we don't think like no sucker. It's simple for me. I look out for you, you respect me. I ain't never say you owe me nothing, bro. But I bet you your dad never told you look in the duffel bag with $100 bills until you take what you want. Nobody did. That alone make you should not ever disrespect Pop.
Nah,
but it's okay.
Money don't make you a father first and foremost. I know where he coming with that. I understand the disrespect he's trying to give with that. But yeah, money ain't gonna make you somebody's daddy, man. That's pause first and foremost. Can't call yourself somebody's daddy, man. We gotta chill with that shit.
I'm gonna cook your toast. Then you gonna say, oh yeah, Oschino was
always in jail. I worked there when he was there. He was always in jail. He was in a group.
First of all, Wayno, when I got signed, you wasn't even there. But dang, you wasn't nobody. You was work for Chris and Niss. You wasn't never no meeting with me. You just sat up there and lied on me, bro, for no reason because you're a hater, bro. I don't know if you want Meek Mill, you want to be Meek Mill's bookie butt. Bro, you was a hater. Bad. Yo, Oschino stayed in jail. You know what I went to jail for? Some bullshit I robbed him that I didn't do. Did you know that? Did you know that? You know somebody said I did a homicide that I didn't do. Did you know that? You know that, but see, you ain't from the streets, so you shouldn't talk about what's in the streets. Mind you, you're not hard to get signed by. Mind you, you talking about. Then you even said I don't know Jay-Z.
We seeing blogs posting him and saying stuff like, "Yeah, you know, because he knows Jay-Z personally." No, he don't. He really don't.
He don't know Jay-Z, bro. Jay-Z signed me, you bonehead. You wasn't there. You wasn't even there, bro. So you keep talking about like you was in meetings with that.
He said that he don't know Jay-Z. That's kind of crazy to me because if my memory serves me correct, he was on the freestyles on Hot 97 and Jay-Z was there. He was introducing them and everything, State Property. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, he's clearly in pictures too. So you got the receipts.
You got to sell drugs and bust. You just lying, bro. You was never no meet with me and Dame, bro. You not even at the see. You became Dave East manager later. When you was at Rocafella, you was nobody but a scrub A&R. I don't even think you was getting paid. So why would you be in a meeting with me when I'm an artist with a budget? Why would I? He's so much, bro. Then the way you saying it makes it like I was a bum, broke when I was getting to it bad. Well, why would I rob? You don't even make a sense. You can't say, well, 1 second I got a duffel bag full of money, and the next sentence you're saying I'm robbing people, bro. You got to make it make sense. You are bro. I swear, bro. Then you said with Dame and said, why are you not pushing my music?
Man, I still got a
shout out to everybody in the live right now. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. We about to get to the Wayno response. This is Oschino's response to Wayno part 2.
Is they make money. I still gotta sell crack to get money. You know what Dame said? Dame said, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Nigga.
I was trapping when I was making music. I was putting out my mixtape. I wasn't waiting for the record label no more, but you don't even know none of that because you wasn't even involved and nothing to do with me. So the fact that you just sitting up here being a bona fide liar to me is breathtaking. It's mind-boggling. I can't believe it. But you can say, Oschino, you 50. You like Conway? You like Jay-Z? Huh? Or is it just me that you hating on the boy that put money in your pockets? Huh? You said I don't know Jay-Z. Jay-Z signed me, bonehead. You wasn't even there. And well, how about look out for Big Face Gary, the person that brought you up there who you don't answer his calls? You know what I mean? I can't believe you, bro. You broke my heart, bro. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I'm talking about I got you living in my crib. You know what I'm saying? I got you living in my crib, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something about the boy that let the person live in their crib. He don't got no secrets. See, you can live with me because I ain't had no secrets. You know what I'm saying? You ain't named one thing I did to you. You naming all these stuff I'm doing with everybody else, which is my business. You ain't named one thing I did to you, but the stuff I did to you was right. I got you out the project.
Took you, man. Hello, bro. Took you right in.
Yeah,
no rap, though.
Oh, yeah, you did. I used to live with O.
No rap. Come on, no rap, no nothing. Come on, we out.
And you couldn't even say I did it. I asked you, yo, did I let you open my home to you? Is that a rhetorical question? You couldn't even say, yeah, bro. That's how much of a hater you. It burnt your soul up to even say that I looked out for you, gave you money, and gave you a place to stay. You disgust me, bro. I wish I would have seen this in you sooner. But trust me, everybody's going to see it because they're going to say, well, why you hitting on the boy that gave you money? You saying out your mouth, I gave you money. You in my house, I'm not even there. You was at my house more than me. I say, yo, you can bring a girl over there. Make sure she don't go in that room right there because there's stuff in there. That's all I say, bro. I ain't worried about what you doing. I ain't checking on you. I ain't worried about you stealing. None of that, bro. But you couldn't even give me the courtesy of having respect. You talking about I'm crashing out bro, you know crashing out. See, for you it's crashing out because you're a sucker and a chump. For me, this is regular stuff. See, I've been through real life. I got the scars and the holes and I've been battle tested. I've been to the prisons and all. That don't make me tough, but that make me not a chump. And I learned what it is to be a street person. See, when you go to the penitentiary, you got older people that teach you how to be a man. You know what I'm saying? And the first thing about being a man is when somebody look out for you, you never forget it. Because the best thing is that somebody look out for you, right? But do you act like
I gotta stop it right there. I think he just said when you go to the penitentiary, it teach you how to be a man. Did he say that? Or am I tripping? I gotta pull that back.
Man, when somebody look out for you, you never forget it. Because the best thing is that somebody look out for you, right? But do you act like they didn't? Once you get money, that means you was a groupie. You was there like a woman. You was there for a reason. But you ain't like the boy the whole time. That's disgusting. That's diva, bookie butt work. And you want to talk about Gilly? You did say Gilly me tough, but that make me not a chump. And I learned what it is. Bro, you know crashing out. See, for you it's crashing out because you was a sucker and a chump. To see it because they gonna say, well, why you hitting on the boy that gave you money? You saying it out your mouth, I gave you money. You in my house, I'm not even there. You was at my house more than me. I say, yo, you could bring a girl over there, make sure she don't go in that room right there because there's stuff in there. That's all I say, bro. I ain't worried about what you doing. I ain't checking on you. I ain't worried about you stealing. None of that, bro. But you couldn't even give me the courtesy of having respect. You talking about I'm crashing out bro, you know crashing out. See, for you it's crashing out because you was a sucker and a chump. For me, this is regular stuff. See, I've been through real life. I got the scars and the holes and I've been battle tested. I've been to the prisons and all. That don't make me tough, but that make me not a chump. And I learned what it is to be a street person. See, when you go to the penitentiary, you got older people that teach you how to be a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
so that's where I was trying to catch it at right there. We should learn how to not go to the penitentiary. And I get it. You know what I mean? A lot of people grow up in the street life. A lot of people grow up with their families not together. Their families ain't right. But if we learning how to be a man, if we learning our morals and our principles from street people, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's not where we should learn it from. And it's not something we should make fun of. I used to make fun of people that were squares and shit like that myself. As I got older, I learned that I wanted to be the square. I want to be the square. The square is a good thing to do because the square person actually makes it. They live. They're able to live life and they're able to take care of their family in an honorable way. They not traumatized all the way to fuck up. Like they not messed up in their brain because that's what comes with the streets. Like, let's stop glorifying that shit like that's something cool. We know it's not cool. If you've been in the streets, if you did any dirt, if you did any type of level of any shit, you know what comes with that shit. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta stop acting like that's the moral standard. Going to the streets and learning how to be a man and all that, going to jail and nah, that ain't it, bro. I disagree with that a lot.
About being a man is when somebody look out for you, you never forget it. Because the best thing is that somebody look out for you, right? But do you act like they didn't? Once you get money, that means you was a woman. You was there for a reason. But you ain't like the boy the whole time. That's disgusting. That's diva, bookie butt work. And you want to
I agree with him right there, though. I agree with him. If you're looking out for somebody and they your mans, you holding them down all this time, it's the money dries up or you not in a situation where you giving to them like that no more and they disappear or they talking crazy about you or acting like you didn't give them enough. Yeah, that person right there never really liked you, never wanted to be around you. They were just around you for whatever you could provide. And it's a lot of people out here that's like that, that think that way, that whatever I see my man doing, I deserve to get a piece of that. It's really crazy. It's a sickness that we got. I don't know. I don't think that way. I'm not a hater, and I'm not a person that rides anyone's waves. If I come to anyone's place, anyone's circle, I'm bringing whatever I can to help. I want to help. I want to elevate whatever we doing. But everyone don't think like that.
talk about Gilly. You did say Gilly said something to me first, so I'm gonna say what I want, bro. And I can't believe you even care. You ran out of Harlem. You went to Atlanta. Why you worry about what Oschino doing? You just zoomed in on me. The boy that gave you bread. Nobody in state probably gave you bread but me. Nobody. You work for Christian Neef. Did you say that? Did you say that? But now all of a sudden you think you this guy. So you see, you was one of them cornball dudes watching everybody the whole time, wishing it was you. Now you got a little name or something. Now you gonna try to hate, like you qualified to say something about me. If you just sleep on my couch with your socks off, you crazy. Bro, you gotta be, bro. But you talking about some
Yo,
Oschino
that part
keep
right there be getting me every time. The nigga is so mad that he took his socks off. Like, how dare you take your socks off? Your nasty, sticky feet is on my couch, man. I feel him. And if you done held one of your homeboys down before, you understand. Like, how dare you get so comfortable, nigga, when you ain't got nothing and I'm giving something to you? Like, yo, stay in your place just a little bit. Like, golly, like, I don't even do that. How you get to do that and you doing that in my house? And I don't even do that. You know what I'm saying? I done had some situations like that where a nigga got way too comfortable in my crib. And I'm like, yo, homie, you need to get a motherfucking shower, bro, and a job. Like, I'm holding you down temporarily. I'm not your parent. You know what I'm saying? Because people will literally, you'll be seeing and watching their intentions like, hey, yo, this person is really not doing nothing. They said they needed help, but they just sitting here chilling. Like everything's all good, just drinking, smoking, eating, asking for what's in the fridge. Nah, nigga, you better get to it.
crash. No, you keep going to jail. You don't want to be in a group of Sparks. You don't know what I want to do because you wasn't even there. When we did Hot 97, where you at, Wayno? Broke and dirty in Harlem. Probably collecting bottles for 5 cents. And I never judged you. I said, youngin, come on, youngin, I got you covered. Why you never
No,
ain't say
you should never want to beef with Oschino. You should know a nigga that literally smoked Charleston White when it comes to this back and forth on the internet shit. I don't want no problems with Oschino. I ain't gonna hold you. Ain't nobody funnier than this nigga. This nigga's hilarious.
the thing about me in that whole first video. Mind you, it came out of left field. You never called me. I ain't talked to you in years, right? You just straight went at me. But why are you not coming to Dave East that owe you 100,000? That's the mind-boggling part to me. Why? Academics coming at you. Everybody coming at you, but you coming at when I wasn't even thinking about body in my city.
Yes, Wayno with his fist, like that shit is hilarious, bro. The fact that he clipped that joint right there. I got back to that.
I didn't say your name. You can say I beef with everybody in my city. I ain't say your name. But see, when you ain't got no skin in the game, you still. You ain't never get no bread out your pocket. It's like if you don't respect me, I'm gonna cook your toast. That's what I do. Meek Mills, no. You know Meek Mills, because y'all me at the same time. God.
Yo, he said you me at the same time. How does this nigga come up with the shit that he be saying? This is hilarious.
Bro, see, money don't make me. Even if I was on the bus, I had the same attitude I got right now. You know what I'm saying? See, because I know who I am. You don't know who you are. That's why you had to be cool with somebody that you really like to make it. Me, I did it my way.
That's bars right there, though. It's a lot of people walking around right now, just existing, just trying to figure it out. They really don't know who they are or what they want to be. So they always trying to do different shit, trying to fit in and all that, like trying to get validation from somebody, hoping that somebody discovers them, pulls them into whatever they, you know what I'm saying? I don't really understand that shit, man. Like I can't understand not knowing who you are as a grown man. I've seen a lot of grown men who don't know who the fuck they are or what they want. And then they're looking at people that are regular. And this is the person that you're looking up to and idolizing. Just means you don't really know who you are or what you want. You got to get solid in whatever you do. Whoever you are, just become solid in something and know exactly who you are and what you will do and what you won't do. Because when it gets crazy in this music industry, trust me, I've been in it. If you don't fucking know who you are, it's going to be somebody that's going to show you what you're going to be. You know what I'm saying? That's why we seeing all this crazy shit that we see in the music industry. It's been going on.
Always take the hard way. Always. You was nothing like me. Listen, you can't even stand next to me in no type of topics in life. Period. You're not built like me, bro. I was showing you genuine love. You went back there and said, let me tell you something. That joint you said I'm 50 years old, it wasn't even about the words.
Oschino almost 50 years old. He beefing with everybody on the planet. And you gonna put him, you gonna put him on a song. You know what, man?
Body language. Body language change. The beat never happened. You sound like I ain't telling you this stuff. Shut your face. You don't know nothing about nothing. Running around with academics. Bro, what talent do you got besides DEing and judging people? You know how to throw bone in your body, hating on the boy that put money in your pockets. I'm appalled at you, and Harlem should be appalled at you too. Mr. Vasquez, I love y'all even if y'all don't love me back. And I want everybody from Harlem to at this bozo and tell him
All right, so we got to that. That was Oschino's part number 2. I don't know if y'all didn't see part number 1. Page, check part number 1. We broke that down too. But yeah, we about to get into Wayno's response. Wayno responded to him. I want to see what Wayno said. Let's get to it. Yo, this nigga face look hurt already. He looked like he want to cry. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't never seen Wayno face look like this.
Yeah. Excuse me. Is this live?
This man don't even want to do this video. Oschino, why you roast this nigga like this, man?
Yeah. I'm gonna address this shit one time and never again. I'm gonna address this one time and then never again. I promise you. I don't know why my IG is not opening up, but yeah, I don't understand why my what's the name not opening up. I'm gonna address this one time and never again after that. I'm never gonna say nothing about this shit. I'm not gonna continue to speak about it. I'm gonna address this. And first off, first things first, I'm not coming up here to disrespect Oschino. So I'll just start there. I'm not coming up here to disrespect Oschino, to put his name down, to say anything derogatory about him, because I never have and I never would. But the way that I am being painted as some sort of hater, as I'm being painted as this person who's never liked O or been a undercover hater of O and all that other bullshit, to put his name down. Is this shit on or not? I don't know what's going on. Something is wrong with my streaming. Nah, I ain't got no explaining to do. I got some talking to do. I'm not about to explain shit.
Yo, that's funny that people in the comments are already telling him he got some explaining to do. But you do though. Oschino said a lot of shit. He made a lot of points. He brought up a lot of names. How you not going to defend yourself?
Don't like me are gonna believe whatever they like to believe, and that is a fact. They're gonna believe whatever they like to believe.
That's not true, bro. We just gonna believe whatever we heard, and if you don't correct it, why make a video? Why not address every single situation like you did the first time? Because the first time 3 months ago, you addressed every situation that Oschino said. You responded to it. It was lighthearted, but now that he dropped some real crazy shit. It's looking like that might actually be true. That's why you so upset. That's what it's looking like. It's not whether somebody hates you or loves you as a follower or a hater. You know what I'm saying? It's none of that, bro. It's Oschino said some things. A lot of those things sound like I can't just make this up. It's not possible for it to be made up. You said some things. He addressed the things that you said. So it's only right if you're responding, you should address the things that he said.
Now, first things first, right? What the hell is wrong with my YouTube? Something's wrong with my YouTube, y'all. All right, maybe look, I'm gonna start this right back up again. I'm not running from nothing. I'm gonna start this right back up again, but I gotta probably take a couple of things off of my stream so it can run smoothly. Because something is not running correctly when it comes to my stream. Like something is definitely not running right.
That's the spirit of the liar right there, man. I don't know. Until I hear something, Wayno, it's Oschino 2-0. It's Oschino 2-0 right now. Let's hear something, man.
All right, is running correctly? Is my stream going? Like, I don't know if this shit is working or not. Hold on. Usually this should be good. I don't know what's happening right now.
He should be doing more talking. I don't understand why he's not talking. He could be talking while he's trying to fix all of this shit. I don't understand. The energy's kind of off, man.
All right, look. All right, cool. Bet. So look, first things first. I ain't come up here to disrespect Oschino. I'm not going to disrespect Oschino. I'm going to talk about a few things regarding me and Oschino. You feel me? First things first. I met Oschino through working at Rocafella, right? He could drop 100 videos. It don't matter to me. I met Oschino working at Rocafella. Now, Oschino has consistently, since I said anything about him, called me a liar, said I don't know this, said I don't know that, and we're going to go through it. He also spoke about something regarding me and Dave East. See, what I've been noticing nowadays is that people don't like the truth. You started talking bad about let me just speak freely. Let me just speak.
Yo, this man, he can't help but look at all the comments, and the comments is saying the truth. They said you started talking about first. That's a fact. That's a fact. So why you not addressing? Why you talking about truth? Why you not addressing that truth? Why you ain't address that? Now you're gonna speak freely. That's crazy,
man. When I met O, you know what I'm saying? When I met O, I never grew up with an older brother in my life. You feel me? So I gravitated towards O because O embraced me. And I mean, O embraced me very, very early. You know what I'm saying? And I would never in my life do anything to mess that up. Now, O knows me when I was a kid. Keep in mind, O called me on Sunday. He called me on Sunday with 5 niggas on the phone. He FaceTimed me with 5 niggas on the phone. As soon as I get on the phone, it's 3 people speaking at once. I don't even know who's on the phone. Like I said, it's Sunday. We had just spoke on Wednesday. It's Sunday. Feel me? So he talking, another nigga talking. Only person I see on the phone that I know is Mike Knox. Cool. The one nigga he's talking, yelling, talking, yelling. I say, yo, hold the fuck up. I don't even know who I'm on the phone with. Who are y'all? One person introduces theyself. Another person introduces theyself and another. First things first. Keep talking about I was hating on him being on the song. Now, if any of y'all follow my streams, if any of y'all watch my streams, y'all niggas know I be on here listening to music. A nigga sent me a song. He said, from my 10-year-old son. This is my 10-year-old son. He has this song called Philly Rock. And we thinking about putting Oschino on the remix. Again, 10-year-old son. So when I say, yo, it's damn near, he almost 50. You gonna put Oschino in there? He almost 50 years old. He beefing with everybody. I said, all right, man. So that clip, you could take it how you want. Anybody could take it how they want. I personally don't believe that it's a good idea to have O on a song with a 10-year-old kid. Now, when O spoke to me about it, he said, yo, but what if they was gonna pay me? What if they was gonna pay me for that song? What if I was getting paid? You messed up my money. I said, well, I didn't look at it from that standpoint, but I'm looking at it from the standpoint of it being a 10-year-old kid. And then his man was like, but what if we get Will Smith on the song? I'm like, if you get Will Smith on the song, well then what are we talking about? Okay.
See, I don't really understand that explanation. Because, okay, you could say the age thing, right? The age thing or whatever. Is there not little kids that got songs with grown people? Does that not happen in the music industry? That's what's crazy to me. You're saying that Oschino's such a bad person, or he's a bad example of a person to be on a song with a 10-year-old because you're saying he beefing with the whole world. What does that have to do with his music? And what does that have to do with his finances? If somebody wants to pay somebody something and you know the man and you supposedly cool with the man, it's kind of crazy for you to say what you said. You would have told Oschino that in private if you wasn't a hater. So It sounds like continue.
Now, O ain't 50 years old. He's 40, whatever. I'm 43. O is probably like 47, 48, whatever going on, whatever he's going on. Right? Now, that was the first thing. That was the first on the phone. Then it gets into the whole, yo, you've been hating on me and talking about the initial conflict. Now, the initial conflict is this. I seen this nigga, what was the shit? I seen the shit with, when Meek, because we gonna watch it. Matter of fact, let's just watch it. Let's just watch it. Because I'm gonna also tell y'all about how I never watched this one. So I'm gonna tell y'all about how when we was doing the State Property album, I was the only one who fought for this nigga to be on the album because he was locked up in a halfway house. He was in a halfway house and I was A&R in the album. And I was the only person that fought for it. But let's watch it because I haven't watched this shit.
What's up, y'all? It's Sunday. I know if you're a Christian, this is the Lord's Day. Should be no drama going on, whatever.
Let's watch this shit.
There's always drama.
All right, this is the Oschino. I believe this is the part one. This is the part one, actually. Yeah, this is definitely part one. So he's going to watch Oschino talking to him. So apparently he didn't get to part two yet.
My life. Let's jump right into this. Wayno / he's be a podcast with academics. He was an intern for Rocafella. I thought he's my brother. Showed me that he wasn't. / Harlem Snake / hater. Bonafide hater, right? Okay, let's jump right into this. Okay, so Wayno come out of nowhere talking trash about me on the podcast he has in Atlanta somewhere.
Yes, he did call.
Now, also, let's keep in mind, how am I going behind anybody's back when everything I do is public?
Call me, like I said, he calls.
You definitely go behind someone's back if you someone's friend or brother, so-called brother, and you talking out about them without telling them. And you saying things that could be viewed as negative. That's going behind someone's back. I think that's the definition, brother.
Calls me immediately. He's on 10.
Because that's what men do. Your little brother say something about you, call him. But why are you saying that? I understand. Boom, let that slide. He goes to Vlad TV last week, talks about me. Sounds, Oschino said in front of Dame, he gonna rob me.
We had a meeting and he was telling Dame like he still gotta rob people.
100% lie.
All right, this right here specifically, 100% lie. Now get this, right? Oh, he might not remember, and that's fine. And people who believe in anything he says is always going to believe him. His manager was there with us. O was going through the halfway house situation. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to get his shit together. Him and Sparks used to be at odds. They were in a group. They were signed as a group, but O was trying to put out solo music. Now, the way music business works, and I didn't know this at the time when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know this at the time when I was younger, but they signed to a deal as a group. They can't put out solo records commercially. They did not have an open budget. This is shit that I was privy to because I was working there, right? This is shit that I was privy to when I was working there. Now, I don't expect Oschino's manager to come out and say, nah, Wayno was telling the truth, but he was there. He was literally.
See, and this is what I'm saying. I think people like Wayno, you getting yourself into situations where you can easily talk about someone you don't got a relationship with. If you have a relationship with somebody, that's your brother, that's someone you real cool with. Nobody I know that I grew up with or someone I do business with and we've been down for mad years and all of that, I'm not going to go and spew business for no reason on a Vlad TV situation, which is entertainment. Why are you doing that? You could talk about the people you don't got a connection to like you do every single day when you're talking about big artists, you know what I'm saying, that you probably might have been in a room with, but you don't got a personal connection with. But when you have a personal connection with somebody, if you talk about something that's not favorable to them, whether it's the past or present, it's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? And that person is going to be upset. And if they have your phone number, they are going to hit you up. So right now, I'm not seeing anything that Oschino did besides the gun thing. I don't know if he's going to talk about that, but we'll see if he gets into that. That was the one thing that kind of caught me. That was like, all right, that was kind of crazy. But if you accepted that and then was continuing to be friends with him after that, It is what it is, bro. But yeah, you talking about somebody and it's not in the best light, they are going to be upset. And that is kind of hating.
Really did. Now, while we was on the phone and O addressed this to me, I said, you know what, O, I give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's say he didn't say you was robbing somebody. Let's say I misspoke when I said you was robbing somebody. You even said, because I said either robbing somebody or selling crack. Hold on, let's watch it again.
Last week, talks about me. South Oschino sitting in front of Dame, he gonna rob.
We had a meeting and he was telling Dame like he still gotta rob people.
100% lie.
Now look, the clip goes on. He said, I said rob or sell crack or some shit like that, right? And Dame said, now look, if I misspoke, and I said this to O on the phone, if I misspoke about what he said, then maybe I didn't hear rob, or it was selling crack or robbing. Whatever it was something that you had to do. You was not selling no mixtapes at this time. This is in 2002. This is in 2002. Right? This is in 2002. And Dame said, nigga, I ain't signed you for that. I signed you to make records. I don't give a fuck about that. Again, O's manager was there. This is not something that I made up in my mind. This is not something that I created or conjured up. Now, he also goes on in his next video to say that I was never around, no meetings and all of that. And we're going to talk about that too, but let's keep watching.
100% lie. Matter of fact, when I got signed to Rocafella, he wasn't even there.
Again, another fact. I wasn't there when he got signed to Rocafella, but that's besides the point.
He wasn't even there yet, right? Make a long story short, not even that. Wayno was an intern for Chris and Neef.
I was not an intern for Chris and Neef. I was an intern at Rocafella. When I got the job, I was assigned to state property. I was assigned to state property. That meant that I worked with all of the artists under the umbrella, from Beans on down, as far as A&R. Now, Freeway, I was in Freeway's A&R. Beans, I was in Beans A&R. Chris and Neef, one of the main reasons why they gave me Chris and Neef, we all was the same age. We all was the same age, and nobody would touch him. Same with Owen Sparks. Nobody, Big Face Gary didn't want to work. He wasn't working with him because his priority was Beanie Siegel. Know what I mean? His priority was Beanie Siegel. Everybody else wasn't working with none of these niggas because they didn't even give a fuck. While I was the young kid there, I said, yeah, I'll work on them. PD Crack ended up getting signed while I was there, but I didn't work on PD Crack's music, but we keep going.
He would come to Philly, have nowhere to stay at because Chris Neef be doing their thing. I said, bro, what's up? You gotta come stay at my crib.
He said I would come to Philly and stay with Chris and Neef because they ain't have nowhere to stay. I ain't have nowhere to stay. That's another lie. I used to be around Sparks a lot. I used to be with Sparks a lot. Emilio Sparks. He had an apartment on City Line Avenue. Before I was ever staying with Chris and Neef or working with Chris and Neef, I was around Emilio Sparks, his partner. There was one time in particular, I came to Philly, and yeah, that night, which I could easily get back on a bus. I was never a homeless person. And even with this shit, you live with me, the only reason why he bringing it up in this context is because while we was on the phone, I'm on the phone with four niggas that I don't know. Like I said, this nigga called me on the phone. He called me FaceTime me on the phone with four niggas on the phone. Three of them I didn't know. It was five people in total. Three of them I didn't know. And he like, yo, you used to live with me. I say, yo, bro, stop saying I used to live with you because now you're trying to throw it in my face. In the year of 2002, October, the beginning of October or the middle of October, you know what I mean? The beginning of October or the middle of October, I was at O House. From that first week up until the first week of November. So all of this that I live with you, like I live with you my whole life or some shit, even when he said this shit about the Fort Lee thing. Yes, O did get a crib in Fort Lee. He asked me, he said, yo, I got this crib in Fort Lee bedrooms. You want to live here? I'm like, I have a place to live. I come to his crib. He like, yo, come over here. He come pick me up in Harlem. We go to Fort Lee. I stayed there for one night. He like, yo, come with me to Philly tomorrow. I go with him to Philly the next day. After that,
Hey, yo, this is just crazy as a grown man having to explain this whole situation. It kind of looks suspect a little bit. I ain't gonna hold you. I would never be in this situation myself. If I stayed with somebody, man, yo, just dead that shit. Just say you was grateful for whatever the man did for you. Cause I think you dragging it, and it sounds like you dragged it, especially on the phone call. That's probably what made it like, oh man, like I don't give a fuck about what you did back then. Like I'm doing my thing now and I'm up. He probably felt that energy from you, and that's what got us here. That's what got you here to these 2 videos that he's talking crazy about you. And it sounded like a lot of the things he's saying is actually true, because now you filling in dates and blanks and all of that. It's kind of not doing what you, I don't know if you're doing this to try to make it seem better, but it's not seeming better. It's seeming like, all right, Oschino was telling, there was truth to a lot of that shit.
I get on a bus and go back home. He got locked up after that on a gun charge. All right, but cool. Let's keep.
Come stay at my crib. We got tight. I make sure you cool. I said, bro, you can't ride in the car with me because I might have beef with people. I might get smoked. I don't want you to be in the car with me. I told your mom you're gonna be safe. I think I'm being a big brother, right?
That is another truth. Again, I'm not up here to disrespect Oschino because I never disrespected him. All I did was tell the truth. And the problem that niggas got today is when you tell the truth about something, even if it's something that they don't remember or something that they have, you know, they simply might not remember. They respond in a crazy way. But one thing I understand about O is that O has been through a lot of trauma in his life. When he would, you know, he went through his situation growing up that was rough. You know what I mean? Being in and out of jail as a young man. When he got older, he went through situations being in and out of jail, getting in trouble. And I understand that these things shape the man and who he is. But at the same time, that these things shape the man and who he is, that has nothing to do with my character or the things I was around. You know what I mean? That has nothing to do with the things that I was around. But let's keep going.
I come home one day, he on my couch with his socks off. I'm not Puerto Rican. I don't wear John Collector. I don't wear my feet out. I don't.
This funny.
Feet on my couch cushions on my.
Yo, I appreciate that. He said that's funny. That part, it gets me every time I hear him say that. He was on my couch with his feet out. Like that shit is funny as hell. That's funny because he sound so worked up about it too.
Couch, the pillows on my couch. 3 o'clock in the morning, man, Wiz come there. So I was young. You know what I mean? I did something dumb. I busted 357 over his head 3 times and make him wake up playing around. That's how I used to play back then. I was.
He busted 357 over my head around. I'm gonna say that shit again for the people who don't understand. The nigga shot a gun in the house. We are in a row house in Philly. I'm asleep. 3 o'clock in the morning. I was in the crib by myself. I'm asleep. The nigga pulls out a gun and shoots a gun in the house. Not a 2.5, not a 380. Not a 2.5, not a 380, not even a 9, a 357. Shoots a gun. I'm 19 years old. Shoots a gun in the house. But this is logical speaking. The thing that I came to talk about is logics, and we're gonna go through it. Logics, and we're gonna go through it.
And I said that I was on Wayno's side on that situation with the gun. Now I thought he bust him over the head with the gun. I thought that he, pistol whipped him a little bit, but apparently he shot the joint. Somebody in the comments said that they heard Oschino say it before. But yo, that's wild. Now that situation is wild, and that's not cool. That's not what you do to somebody that just got their feet out. I can understand you choking them out a little bit, or roughing them up. But yeah, that if that nigga was asleep, that's just not cool, man. That's not cool. That could do a lot of things to you.
Some other stuff back then, right? He rolled over on the floor. Oh, why you do that? Why you do that? Make a long story short, but I made sure he was safe. All this, whenever he was with me, I made sure he was safe.
He made sure I was safe while he was shooting guns in the fucking house. All right.
Now I knew that was gonna go that way. I knew that Wayno was gonna say that. That that traumatized the man, especially if he don't really know you like that. He's keeping them safe. How you keep somebody safe by doing that? Oschino, that one, you lost that one, but you was real about it. So I respect you for being real about it.
But ever since out of nowhere, he been hating on me.
I've been hating.
Really, Bonafide hating on me. When he made the first video about me, I said, why you saying that? Like, well, I don't understand. You come out the blue sky, you didn't call me or nothing. My son passed away, you ain't saying nothing about me. You know my son. You've been around my son.
Now listen, this is a very touchy subject because I did know old son. I didn't know old son as he got older. I did know old son as a baby. When Vasquez passed away, I spent a lot of time around Vasquez when he was a baby. When Vasquez did pass away, I reached out to O. I called him 1 or 2 times. I didn't get a response. I didn't call him immediately. And the reason why I didn't call him immediately is because I didn't know how he was dealing with something like that. Because one thing I understood and I knew about O is how much he loved Vasquez. He loved the shit out that boy. And I hate the fact that he went through that. I hate the fact that he went through something like that.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Hearing the tone, the sincerity, I think these dudes can be cool again. I do think that they could be cool again. I think they have some situations, as we all do, especially as black men, especially coming from a certain environment. You know what I'm saying? I hope and pray that they can be cool again, get past this situation, and do some cool stuff together. You know what I mean? Maybe do some content or whatever, but it's ugly. It's ugly when you have to see two people that was close in some type of way, whatever the level of closeness was, we don't really know. But these are painful topics. Like these are very painful, traumatic topics. And I hope that they're able to get past it, all jokes aside. You know what I mean? For real. Like I pray for them. Hope they find who they pray to, and they able to piece it up for real.
And I have a few friends who have lost children. A few friends that have lost children that I know. And when this happened, you know, I didn't know what was. I was working at the time. I seen what went on. I spoke to a couple of people that was around him at the time. That not nobody close to O as far as his friends and shit, but people from Philly. And I knew that was a tough time for him. When I reached out, I called. I didn't expect him to answer because I probably wouldn't have been answering my phone. I don't know if his phone was off or anything. But let's keep going through it.
Then he said, shout to Garcia, shout to Meek. I said, Wayno, how you know Meek? I met him through you. So if you met him through me, why? Then let's talk about Dave East. This number, all right,
now this the thing.
Thursday, I called him and said, why you on Vlad TV talking about me?
He didn't call me and say, why you on Vlad TV talking about me? He called me and said, Wayno, I seen you do Vlad. He called me, FaceTime me. He laughing. Yo, what's up, bro? I seen you was on Vlad. I said, yeah, I told a story about you and all that shit. He like, word, yeah. We started talking about a few things, right? We was talking about a few things. And then I told, I said, yo, I got to wait for you to make some money. I said, would you listen to people's music? Now, people know that I be on here on Nero, you know what I mean? On Nero, listening to people's music, critiquing music. That's one of the reasons why we here, because he got upset that I said something about him being on a song with a 10-year-old, which I'm still going to stand on is not a good business move for anybody. I don't think that the brand of Oschino should be next to a 10-year-old. I don't think the brand of the 10-year-old should be next to Oschino. Now, if you feel like that's different, no, he could make the song pop. I didn't say that he wasn't skilled. I didn't say that the nigga couldn't rap. I didn't say that he wasn't talented. All I said was, you gonna put him on a song? Now, that's the clip that he's showing. The clip that he's showing is me saying, you gonna put O on a song? Oh, it's damn near 50 years old? Yeah, because he's on a song with a 10-year-old, but okay. He didn't call me confronting me. He did not call me confronting me. We was laughing and joking, and I said, yo, would you listen to people's music? He said, yeah. He said, yeah. I said, well, I got some way for you to make some money, bro. I sent him the link. He said, yo, what should I do? I said, I'm going to call you tomorrow and give you the whole rundown. Now, I got busy the next few days, and when he hit me on Sunday, he texted me and said, yo, let me find out you really a hater. I put laugh out loud, I'm about to call you, because I thought he was talking about the Nero thing, but okay, let's keep going.
Hey, yo, I never had a bad...
It sound like basically it was a delayed situation. He had spoke to Wayno, which he said on the video. He had just spoke to him. And then he probably didn't watch any of the things until later. And then when he watched the responses, That's what made him upset. That's what it had him thinking like, yo, this dude is a hater. I just spoke to this dude. And now look at him talking crazy about me on camera. I think it's exactly what Oschino said. So I'm still kind of giving the edge to Oschino. I don't think Wayno wants no problems like that, but it does make you wonder what goes on in his brain. It makes you wonder.
Never had a bad.
I've never had a negative experience with Oschino, ever.
Ever. I gotta admit that, right? He's like, no, Oschino hard to love. How am I hard to love when I never asked you for a dime and you staying in my crib? So let me tell you what I told the Wayno today. I took the Wayno.
Look, he said, how am I hard to love? I said that shit jokingly. I was laughing. I said, because a person like him, first of all, for a person like him, it speaks to who I am, that he would even trust me at any point in time in my life. You feel me? That's the part that's being left out. So I said he hard to love because he get me. Now listen, me and O used to argue all the time when both of us was younger. But the thing about us both being younger is this. He does not know me as a man. He knows me as a 19-year-old young man. He does not know me as a man. Over the past 20-something years, I haven't been around old like that. Probably after like 25, I hadn't been around old like that.
I think that right there makes it worse if you ain't been around somebody like that and you talking heavy like that to somebody who actually deals with Oschino, who does business with him. You're saying the man is hard to love, like jokingly. And there's always truth to a joke. Just because you laughing and you trying to disguise it as something else doesn't mean that that's not truth to how you feel. Because when you put all of the scenarios together, it sounds like you might have had some hate for the man, and you might have been valid in having some hate for the man. So I'm not going to sit here and say you don't have your reasons and he didn't put you through some trauma to where you might feel negative towards the man. But I think that's the problem that we have sometimes as Black people. We can't fully express some of the shit that we deal with because then you looked at as, oh, this nigga's soft. Oh, he really ain't like that. He ain't ready to live this type of lifestyle, which is completely corny. It's completely corny, especially at the age that we at. When we becoming men, we cannot sit here and talk about the streets and how the streets is like this. And you supposed to move like that, and you a cornball or you a square. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. We got to be better as men. Just men, period. Not a man from the streets, not a man from jail. None of that shit, none of them titles that people is holding on to mean nothing. And if you did that, you know that. You know that there's no reward for any street credit. You don't get nothing back.
Today, because I call you first. See, I'm not the boy to be sneaking around talking about you behind your back. I call you first. I called Wayno. I said, Wayno, why you talking? Why you keep talking about me, bro? Why you keep hating on me? Wait. I'm tough. Bro, let's talk about what you talk about Dave East, bro.
I never said I'm tough. See, that's the thing. I love that he said that. I never watched this before. I love that he said I'm tough. I never said that. We on the phone.
I believe that's true, by the way his seat moved. I ain't even gonna hold you. I think that was a real, actual thing. He didn't say that he was tough. I believe that Oschino threw some tea on that joint.
While we're talking, I never said I was tough. We were talking, and his man was like, yeah, pussy. His man said pussy. And then he said pussy again. And I said, nigga, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I ain't never been no gangster, but I will show you that I'm not a pussy. And his man said, where you at? Where you at? This is his man that I don't know. I never met this nigga a day in my life. This nigga calls me on a Sunday with him on the phone. That's what I said. I never said, I'm tough. Those words never came out of my mouth. I said, I am not no gangster, but I will show you I'm not a pussy. That's what I said. Now I'm happy he talking about this.
You said Dave East owe you $109,000, right? Because you was his manager. I didn't hear you make one video about Dave East at all. You know why? I think you're scared to talk about Dave East because he's from Harlem. You from Harlem, you got to go back home. I'm a punch it back. I'm easy to talk about. You said Dave East was dead broke, browsed some girl for $30,000, right?
He said that. I said that? This nigga's a liar. Now you're a fucking liar.
From Harlem, you got to go back home. So it's easy to, I'm a punch it back. I'm easy to talk about. You said Dave East was dead broke, browsed some girl for $30,000, right?
I never said that. Let's look at the text message. Because I'm going to tell y'all exactly what I said. I'm going to tell y'all exactly what
Let's pull up the receipts then. Pull up the receipts. Let's do it.
I said. right? He sends me a video of the Relly nigga, this TikTok. He sends me the video of this TikTok of the Relly nigga, right? It says, and this was Relly talking about how Dave took the money, took $30,000 and all that shit. I said, yeah. I said, East a fraud. Laugh out loud. Yeah, man, East a fraud. But this kid a weirdo that's talking about him. I never once in my life said nothing about this nigga taking no $30,000. I never said that. So O likes to stand on this square that he's a thorough, I don't lie, I don't do this. I never once in my life said nothing about no $30,000 because I don't know nothing. And we will talk about the $109,000.
And on top of that, he said, "Oh, listen, this is what Wayno told me Thursday, because I called him about the Vlad stuff. I called him like."
Hold on, let's see if he called me Thursday or Wednesday. Let's see what day he called me, because I don't like this. I definitely don't like this shit. I do not like this. Mr. remembers everything, right? He called me Wednesday. He called me Wednesday at 5:47 p.m. Call me Wednesday. That's neither here nor there, but let's keep going.
Yo, what's up with you? Whatever. I called him. I said, wait, no. He said, oh, Dave East didn't have no money. He didn't have a dime. So he asked me, can I suspend my manager fees so he get back on his feet? And he just never paid me, and he cut me off. I said, well, why he cut you off? Because, he had all these friends around him. They wasn't making him hold him accountable for what he was doing. This, that, and the third. Gossiping, because that's what he...
No, see, this is the thing. Gossiping. You call me on the phone talking about your situations with Freeway. Talking about your situation with Freeway. Talking about your situation with Freeway. And how, yo, Charlie Mack and Freeway and this, that, and the third. And as us being two brothers, what I thought, like, he's...
Hold on, y'all. I'm about to get to the comments real. In the comments, they said, you got dudes that went to prison and changed that teach young dudes morals and principles. I agree. I definitely agree. 100%. Definitely got people in prison that do have morals and do know how to teach people principles. I'm not saying everybody in prison is bad, but I'm saying that's not where we should be going to get that. That's not where we have to go. That's the last place we need to be as Black people. That's what I was saying. So, I'm happy for the people that come out of prison, change, and do right. But I know that the higher percentage does not. We don't make it through that shit. You know what I mean? So he said he called O his big brother and how much O looked out for him and make videos talking down on O. He an ungrateful ass clown. I agree. I actually agree. I agree with that. I do agree that anybody, if you my mans and I looked out for you in the past, whatever we got, if we getting on the phone and we chopping it up with each other, we could talk about whatever we need to talk about on the phone. And now if we can't do that, like say you going to talk to other people about me, whether it's on camera or off camera, I'm not fucking with you. I'm just not fucking with you. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not even going, like, that's me. I'm cutting you off. I don't need nobody that I feel like I have to wonder about what this person be thinking about day to day, especially a person that I helped out. If I helped you out, and I've been through this for real, like putting the whole record label together, putting whole companies and just starting a lot of movements and starting events and all types. I dealt with so many haters, but I'm the type of person, I don't listen to it. I cut it off and I keep going and I keep moving. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to address you because I already know we can't change what's already inside of you.
Said we thought we was brothers. I'm sharing a story with somebody I think is my brother the same way he's sharing a story with me as a brother, but I didn't take it as gossiping. See, that's the thing. I took it as he was just telling me something. After he told me everything that he told me about Freeway, me, Garcia, whatever he felt about them, I never repeated it. I never repeated none of that shit. I never repeated nothing that he said. I said the shit to him about East and Confidentiality. Now, even the shit with me and East, yo, Wayno, why you ain't never make a story, a video about East? My situation with East, I never talked about it publicly off the simple fact of when me and East went through what we went through, he had a project to promote. And I didn't want to say nothing about him that was going to make him look bad. Because even though we had went through what we went through, I still had love for this nigga. The only reason why I even brought anything up to O about East is because after I did the Vlad interview,
See, that's kind of funny right there. That is kind of snakish. You said you didn't want to say nothing crazy about Dave East for such and such reasons, but then you said things about Oschino, who you should probably be closer to, especially if that dude owes you some bread. Everything Oschino is saying so far, it seems like it's facts, bro. And this nigga is really trying to figure out what I can say to make myself look better.
Vlad interview, you know what I'm saying? After I did the Vlad interview, the nigga East texted me and said, damn, or he said, all that on Vlad though? I said, me telling my story? Yes, because I didn't lie about nothing concerning Dave East. I didn't lie about that. When I said this shit about how Dave didn't come to stuff on time, when I said the shit about him having 4 people around him and then going to 10 and then 100, I wasn't lying. But for this nigga to say that I don't say nothing about him because I'm scared, because I don't go back to Harlem and all, because he's from Harlem, that's a whole nother story that I would address at a time where I feel fit. Because me talking about anything regarding Dave East is my story. Now,
yeah, I don't think that he's afraid of Dave East, but I do think that he holds Dave East at a higher place than he holds Oschino. That's what it sounds like to me.
I always when niggas had something to say or ask me questions, did the whole, oh nah, you know, niggas just grew apart. Niggas just grew apart. But I'm not a liar. I'm not gonna keep a nigga ask me what happened. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna keep lying to save a nigga face. I'm not gonna keep lying for people that did me dirty. I'm not. And the only reason why I even said something to O is because I was offended that Dave hit me saying all that. Like I disrespected him or I brought up any of these personal things that I told to a person in confidentiality like Oschino. I told him this personally. I didn't say, yo, oh, guess what? O was sharing with me what he was going through financially with other rappers. And I shared with him what I went through personally. I bet. Let's keep going.
Yo, just you understand this, bro. A person that's an A&R can't rap usually. Wayno can't write a rap to save his life. So for him to talk about who can rap and who can't, for me it's like, who is you? And now because you did a little couple things with people, you think he's somebody bigger than he is. Bonafide hater. Bonafide. He don't even know he a hater. I'm 50. So listen. So I called him about the Vlad thing. I still was cool. Like, it's my little bro. I love him. I'm letting it go. As soon as I hung up with him the same day, he got a streaming service about judging people's songs. Somebody sent him a song that I'm supposed to get on. I'm supposed to get on. I'm not even on it. You let Oschino get on it? He's 50 years old. He beef with the whole world. What?
Oschino almost 50 years old. He beefing with everybody on the planet. And you gonna put him, you gonna put him on a song. You know what, man?
Talk to me in my...
You see how he just played that? He didn't say that the kid is 10 years old. He didn't say nothing about the kid being 10 years old. I never said O couldn't rap. In fact, hold on a second, y'all. In fact, State Property 2 Chain Gang album, BB Gun. Oschino's on.
I wish somebody could really just interview Wayno and just ask him, like, yo, could you see how somebody could watch all of the things that you're saying? And even your breakdown or response and look at you and still feel like you might be a hater? Do you think that's possible?
On there. Blow. Oschino's on there. Been down too long. Oschino's on there. Just another nigga. Oschino's on there. Want me back. Oschino's on there. If I could do it all again. Oschino's on there. This was the first album I ever got A&R credits on. Me, Beanie Siegel, Biggs, and my man Ryan Press. Ryan Press, I'm not trying to bring Ryan into nothing. Ryan had a crib that everybody used to record at in Philly. Ryan is from Philly. Ryan had a crib that everybody used to record at. You know what I'm saying? When this album was getting done in the summer of, the spring of 2003, like I said before, O was in the halfway house. BB Gun, what else? Blow, Want Me Back are all beats that was done by Ryan's producer, my man Chad West. I made sure that these songs made the album, but I also wanted to make sure that O got his shine. Like I said, I lived with O from the first month, the first week of October to the first week of November. So for a month and a week, right? For a month and a week. I made sure that these songs was on here. Down Too Long in particular. Down Too Long, my man Hip Dog is from Yonkers. Hip Dog is a nigga that used to work with Rough Riders, and he was a person that, I think always told a story that Jadakiss wanted to sign him at one point in time. Hip Dog is really tight with Jadakiss, whatever. That's why maybe one of the reasons why when everybody was going at one another, O never said nothing towards Jadakiss because they had a relationship. Hip Dog managed the producer that did Down Too Long, and I made sure that this song made it on there because I felt like it was a moment, and it was a solo moment for O. And I wanted to make sure that he got a moment to shine on that album. So when this, like, niggas could talk all this, brother, you an A&R, you never did nothing. What is your talent? My talent was helping put this album together. I put this album together when I was 20 years old, along with Biggs and Beanie Siegel. And then Beanie Siegel got locked up after that during the Rock the Mic tour. But I put this album together. And when I put this album together, I wanted, the Young Guns was on fire. We had just put out the mixtape, Youngest in Charge. We put out that mixtape. They had Can't Stop, Won't Stop, that was bubbling. They had The Streets, like the Young Guns had The Streets. But Owen Sparks, the two people, Sparks, first person to really embrace me from State Property. Not that that matters. And Oschino, I wanted to make sure that they shined on this album. Temporary Relief, Sparks is on there. State Prop, you know us. I got a funny story about that song. But Sparks is on the ad-libs. We had a crazy night that night. Just Another Nigga. Another song that I picked. This is actually the second version or third version of it because the first version was a sample and we couldn't clear the sample. But as far as this album, I made sure nobody else. You could bring up all these other niggas. You could talk about this nigga, that nigga, the other nigga, this nigga, that nigga, this other nigga. You know what I'm saying? I made sure that that my brother was on this album. Feel me?
Face DN hating on Dave East the whole conversation. They come to me and talk about me on the joint. I didn't even see it. My man said, "Oh, you see what Dave Wayno said about you?" I said, "You lying." I just told.
We wasn't talking about Dave for the whole conversation. He told me about what he was going through with Freeway. Know what I mean? And I told him what I went through with Dave. He's not. Yeah.
He told me to. I couldn't believe it. But instead of me getting on here at first, I called him. He's screaming and hollering. He gonna tell me. Let's have a conversation with. I said, "Wayno, bro, you keep saying."
I live with O on 26 and Ellsworth. I will not dispute that. I even said that before.
I said, "All right, Wayno, or say you didn't live with me. How many nights did you spend the night at my house?" I don't know.
I didn't say that.
But mind you, he light skinned. I don't like light skinned feet on my couches or my pillows on my couch. I don't care what. Now they forget where they came from. I mean, your mom live in the projects, the high rise of the projects.
Yo, you gotta love it though. You gotta love this snapping. That's one thing I miss is people just be too serious these days, man. Everybody take everything the wrong way. But what I will say is, I get it. You know, when you get to a certain age, this nigga's 43. At 43, I'm pretty sure you don't want to be called little bro. You're not little bro no more. You know what I'm saying? I went through that one time with somebody I used to work with when it came to the music thing. And, you know, I was part of his record label. And he's like 3 years older than me, 3, maybe 4 at the max. And he called me little bro. And I'm looking at the nigga like, I ain't no little bro, nigga. I ain't never been your little bro. The fuck is you talking about? Nigga, I'm a grown-ass man. I've been a grown-ass man for a long time. And he ain't never called me little bro before, so it's a little different.
Yeah. If you were so comfortable in your house where you lived at, you would never been in Philly sleeping on people's couches, right? Now, I moved to, mind you, after that I moved to somewhere else, by Lincoln Drive, high rise. He there. He even said his own mouth. Oh, left a duffel in there and told me.
I go to this duffel bag. I open it up. And in this duffel bag, it's hundreds of $100 bills. Like I'm talking about, the bag is full of $100 bills. I call him. I say, oh, you know that you left this money? He like, yeah, I left the money in there. Take whatever you want.
Take whatever I want. I can take whatever I want. Right? I did that. Me. Wayno, it's money in the bag. Get whatever you want. Man. Wayno, do you ever give me 10 cents? Never. Right? I moved to Fort Lee, New Jersey, $3,600 a month. It's right across the bridge from her.
He calls me and he says, yo, I got this apartment in Fort Lee. I'm not going to be there like that. Do you want it? I'm like, hell yeah. I don't have a car. I don't even have a driver's license at this time. But I'm like, yeah, I want the apartment. He like, cause I don't be there like that. I be back and forth between Philly. You know what I mean? So you can stay there all the time. You want to come live with me? I got a bedroom for you, everything. I go to the crib. You know what I'm saying? I go to the crib. It's a really, really nice crib, big ass building, all of that, nice amenities, everything, right?
I said, bro, you can stay in this room. Of course, I got booked when I moved there. I was there for like 2 months. I got booked. But I said, Wayno, I asked him today. I said, Wayno, did I tell you could live with me in Fort Lee? 22 bedrooms. You could live there? You know what he told me? Look how much of a hater he is.
I said it's a rhetorical question because we already had this conversation 4 times. We on a phone with niggas I don't know. You got niggas I don't know on the phone. The kid father, the kid father, you know what I mean? The kid father was on the phone. I said, yo, anything, I said, when I'm on stream, I'm gonna give my honest opinion, but there's also a humorous factor to it. Yeah, I try to be humorous about a few things while giving my honest opinion. I said, if I said anything towards you that made you feel any way about your child, or
see, I think that's the problem right there. Yo, Wayno, I don't know if nobody told you, but you're not funny. You're not funny. You're not any type of funny, bro. That's one thing I do know. I'm from New York too, nigga. Like you're not funny. It's just you have a very dry sense of humor, and it's extra dry. You know what I'm saying? There's no, I've never seen anything that I watched of Wayno and I was like, yo, that was funny. Oschino is funny, bro. You got to keep it a buck. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe he's trying to use humor. He's trying to be sarcastic or whatever. Shit not working, man. You got to switch that. Just be you.
what I said, I apologize. I said, oh, if you feel away because you felt like I was stopping your money, I said, I would tell you get your money, but I still don't think it's a good idea for you to be on a song with a 10-year-old kid. But if that made you feel away, I apologize for that. See, the thing about O is that he can't accept apology. O has been through a lot in his life, and he's going through a lot of trauma. I don't know if he's healed through trauma. I'm not going to speak about what he's going through with his son, or what he went through with his son, losing his son's life, because I don't give a fuck how much this nigga don't like me or how much I don't like him currently at the moment. I have nothing to say ever negative towards his family. His family was good to me. His family was good to me, specifically his son when he was a baby, and his son was innocent. And it broke my heart that O lost his son. Nowhere near where he was at. But O kept harboring on. Now listen, I'm on the phone with this nigga, and he keep telling me, you ain't never been through shit. You ain't nothing, nigga. You ain't never been through nothing, nigga. You ain't nothing. And I say, yo, now listen, O, I could never outstreet nigga O. I'm not trying to outstreet nigga O. I never been in prison for nothing other than visit and to speak. See, my story, I've been able to go to prisons and tell my story and speak about my story to inspire others. I've been in prisons to visit friends and family. So I don't know nothing about being locked in a box. I don't know nothing about fighting in prison and none of that. I never went through none of that. But I kept telling him, bro, I'm not a little nigga no more, bro. You're not going to keep I'm not no little nigga no more. That's why he said talking tough. I was never talking tough.
See, that's the shit right there. I knew that's what I realized from my own situation, what I went through with a older dude that I was cool with, who tried to call me and try to hit me with the younger bro shit. That's shit. That's the same situation I'm sure that he went through. Me personally, I don't even got to tell a nigga that I'm not a little nigga no more, because niggas know. Niggas can look at my life and look at the things I did. and know that I'm not no little nigga. I don't even gotta say that to you, nor are you gonna even like call me or try to act that type of way or put pressure on me. But I guess Wayno's situation might be a little bit different. First and foremost, if niggas is calling you with extra niggas on the phone, I'm checking that shit at the door. Ain't no nigga calling me with a whole bunch of niggas on the phone unless they my niggas. If they not my niggas, I'm hanging up on your ass, nigga. Call me back when you could call me like a man and we could talk one-on-one. Other than that, don't fucking call me. I wouldn't even sit through that phone call. And that's the difference. It's like you gotta have that backbone, bro. You gotta tell them niggas like, yeah, I ain't with that. Get these niggas I never met in my life off the phone, bro. Fuck is you doing? Like, we're not even about to do that. But you probably open the door. Oschino probably feel like you open the door for that, for going online and talking to the world about y'all's situation for no reason. For no reason. There really was no reason unless you feel some type of way, which you must feel some type of way. That's it. There's no way to do this, and y'all still going back and forth on the internet. It's crazy.
All I said is you're not going to keep talking to me as if I was this homeless person that I came to you in need. And he was like, oh, what, you ashamed? I said, no, I'm not ashamed, but you're not going to keep saying to me that I'm this person that I needed somewhere to stay.
I said, what you mean? I said, bro, did I tell you could live with me or not? Yes or no? He said, it's a rhetorical question. I said, did you stay there the days that, did you ever stay there? I stayed there one weekend. Bro.
Yo, this is a whole crazy conversation, man. I can only imagine. I know Wayno's a grown man at this point. He's over 40. I think he got a wife. This is a crazy conversation to have to explain in the first place, man. I'm just not doing this shit. And if you know that that's some shit that you did in the past, right? Why would you even open the door for that to be a possibility if you know how Oschino is? If you know how he get down, you know he thorough, you know that he's going to take it wrong, you know that he has all this trauma, like you said, out of your own mouth. Why would you open the door for that? You knew that this was a possibility. You must have wanted this energy.
Did I tell you that was your room you could live there? You couldn't even say yeah. So what happens is he showed me who he was. I kept on like, that's my little bro. You're not my little bro no more. I hate you for life. We're not nothing. You're a bona fide hater.
I respect it.
You never did nothing, bro. You talked about people for a living. So how you got nerve to talk about me?
Hold on, son. How you say all that love you have for his son, all that love you got for him, but then when he says, I'm not messing with you no more, it's over for life? I respect it. Hold on. That sounds like a hater. Y'all let me know in the comments. 10 being the worst, 1 being the least. How close do you feel like this dude Wayno is to a hater? 10 being the highest. The highest, he's a super bona fide hater if he's a 10. 1, nah, he's cool. He's cool. Y'all let me know what number. Drop that in the chat.
My people, but that's all you never rap, play ball. You talk about people for a living. You're a fucking hater. That's it.
I never did nothing for a living. See, this is the thing. Even with everything that O has done in music, specifically putting out mixtapes and all of that, he hasn't accomplished what I've accomplished in music. My resume speaks for itself. I have records under my belt, platinum records under my belt. I have projects that I worked on that went platinum and gold. You know what I'm saying? So again, this the way I take this is a person that don't know me. He doesn't know me anymore. He hasn't known me for a long time. I mean, he hasn't known me for a long time.
So I'm tired of these boys acting like they somebody. There's some of these people that talk on this podcast. I could do the same thing, but I could talk about the stuff I really did in real life, right? You slept on my couch. I never slept on your couch. Ever. Never. My son passed away, you ain't say nothing to me ever. Do you ever sleep on Garcia's couch? You ever sleep on Meek Mill's couch? No. On my couch, nigga. Talking about, bro. If you from Harlem and New York and all that, why would you come to Philly sleep on somebody's couch in Philly? Because you don't have nowhere else to go, nothing to do. Did I ever give you money? Yes. You ever give me 10 cents? No. So when Vlad asked about me to you, you should have said, man, oh man, he looked out for me when I ain't had nothing. Bonafide, nothing. But instead, you talk about all my. Oh, then you lied. Oschino said you told Dame he robbed people. Rocafella was there. Bro, I ain't never. Bro, last time I robbed somebody, bro, I wasn't signed at all. It was a piece of story. So I know you said you were lying. You're lying. You just went on Vlad TV and lied. They gonna say it's hard for me to love me. It's hard to love you.
See, the thing is that what I ain't gonna say what hurt about it, but is like, you know how a nigga do something and then a nigga just throw it in your face constantly? Throw it in your face constantly. The only thing you could say is, Wayno stayed on my couch. 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 We get on the phone with people I don't know. This nigga slept on my couch. This nigga slept on my couch. As if, and I'm grateful for the time I spent around him at that time. As if.
See, I think it's just that there's never been that grateful exchange. It's never seemed, maybe that's what it is, bro. Maybe you never really showed any gratitude to the man. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't just say you slept on his couch. He said he also looked out for you with bread. And you didn't say that didn't happen, so I'm going to assume that that happened as well. And that's the problem, I think, with people. They feel like they're entitled to things. No matter what. I'm an A&R for Rocafella. That doesn't mean you're entitled to Oschino. And he's like on a low level. Like you looking at the man like he's not really doing nothing because he's not the most popping artist on that situation. But I mean, if he looked out for you, gave you somewhere to sleep, put money in your pocket, held you down, you owe the man some gratitude, man. Not to be up here just talking about all of his negative flaws, because that's what it sounds like you did. It sounds like you didn't talk nothing positive about the man. Even Vlad said out of his own mouth, I've never had a problem with O. Never.
I was riding. I used to be with O when he was riding dirty. Yeah.
Back to the shit I just said. Literally.
I used to be with him when he was riding around doing whatever, you know what I'm saying? Riding dirty or whatever. I always looked at O. I was inspired by O because of his story, because of the things he went through.
Yo, when you got to watch and check niggas that talk like this, if the first thing out your mouth is negative and then the positive come, it's a backhand compliment. It's crazy how people walk around with so much hatred in their heart and don't even fucking know it. They don't even know that they got hatred in their heart. That's crazy. The first thing that came out your mouth, I was with O when he was riding dirty. It wasn't what I was with O when he inspired me and brought me to this place that I'm at right now. It wasn't that.
And I used, this all stems from the initial conversation, excuse me, when the Meek Mill show happened. And I said, shout out to Meek, shout out to Garci. O also told me that Meek never did nothing for me, which is a lie. I'm not here to talk about what Meek did for me or not. I'm not.
When are you going to talk about what people did for you? When? At what time? When can you give people their flowers? It's crazy. I'm watching this shit in real time that people, it's unable, they start glitching when it comes to talking about what somebody did for you. And when someone says something they did for you, it's throwing it in your face? What? Nah, that's crazy work.
When I talked about Philadelphia, I talked about Philadelphia in the space of that's my second home. I love Philadelphia and I hate to see everybody at odds. Even when he speaks about Gilly and how I said something about Gilly, I used to purposely stay away from Gilly and stay away from everybody in major figures because I know that there was a real situation that happened where somebody lost their life. You know what I mean? There was a real situation that happened where somebody lost their life. And in the midst of that, I used to be around these niggas. Now, years later, one time I was at South by Southwest and Gilly was there. And Gilly had his phone out and, you know, being Gilly. Not in no negative way. And I camera because I understood that me being seen on a video standing next to Gilly might upset certain people that had problems with him back in the days. Oh, and Gilly you know, had their problems back in the days. Rapped about him, which I think was one of the best diss records. You know what I mean? One of the best diss freestyles he's ever done. But I a relationship. So obviously took myself away from people that I knew was around these people. You know what I mean? That I knew was around these people because I was afraid about, not afraid, but was worried about how that would sound. But go ahead.
Because you're a hater. I don't gotta sleep on your couch. I don't need nothing from you ever in life. Me not speaking to you ever again in life doesn't change my life at all. Because at the end of the day, I know if somebody came to you with a business for me, you would turn it down and say, don't mess with him. He's 50 years old. When I ain't even 50.
That's a lie. You wanna know why? Because I literally told a nigga how to make a Nero. I told him to make a Nero, and I told him, yo, would you listen to people's music online? And he said, yeah. I said, I gotta wait for you to make some money, bro. I told him that. So for him to say that if somebody came to me with business and all of that shit, for him, I would have turned them away. That's a lie. Nobody never came to me for business for because O was never in a position as an artist where people was coming to people about business for him. Y'all could look on the last days of The Rock that Choke No Joke did, where O was got into the whole shit about the clothes. O was in the halfway house at that time. You feel me? So for him to paint himself like this,
he can't help that shit. It's like a twitch. He just keeps saying negative things about Oschino and then wonders why Oschino feels like you a hater. It's the halfway house. He was riding dirty. You know what I mean? He was in prison. He's a wild dude. He didn't have no records that was popping. Are you hearing what you're saying, bro? I don't know if you're hearing what you're saying. It sounds like you do not look at him in a good light. That's what it sounds like. It sounds crazy, especially if it's a person that helped you, man. We don't know that. The world doesn't know that. You're the only one that can tell that. Your whole thing is, I do it myself. If you didn't do it yourself, then what are you talking about? My thing is numbers don't lie because it's always about the people I came up with, everybody that was around me. That's my motto. You know what I mean? It's just a difference.
It's hot artists or some shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, but you said he doing a feature. The person that y'all keep saying, he is a 10-year-old kid. All right, cool. Y'all niggas don't care about who 10-year-old kids do songs with. No problem. Oschino almost 50 years old.
Yo, I don't know why he keeps going. And this is another thing. You keep going to the 10-year-old thing like I'm trying to make it some weird shit when it's somebody's father that's trying to get the collaboration with Oschino. I'm not understanding what's going on right now. And maybe we just seeing it in real time that Wayno might be a hater. And maybe he's not a hater to everybody. Maybe it's just Oschino.
He beefing with everybody on the planet. And you gonna put him, you gonna put him on a song. You know what, man?
And I'm gonna show them you saying this. You said this Thursday after I just talked to you. Wayno, you are a bona fide hater. Period. You mad the fact that you had to sleep in my house and be with me. I never said you was homeless, never said you was a bum. I said I opened my doors to you. Open my door. That's why I hurt. You open my doors to you. I told Wayno, I said, Wayno, you can't ride in the car with me. I had the 2-seaters at the time. You know, I'm beefing with people. They might spray my joint. I might get smoked. I don't want you with me. I told your mom I'm going to keep you safe. Name something you did for me, Wayno. Name one thing you did for me. You cannot.
I mean, like I said, that album, but it don't matter. Because that's the thing, bro. The lies is more sexy than the truth. The lies more sexy than the truth. When he had no commercial workout.
Hold on. He said the lies is more sexy than the truth, but you verified almost everything that Oschino has said. You haven't said one thing that he said that was a lie, other than maybe the Dave East thing where he said the 30, the getting the girl for 30K. You said you didn't say that. That was it. Everything else you said that, but it was this way instead of that way. This is what I said, and then this part was added into it. Nigga, you verifying everything Oschino's been saying the whole fucking time. If you rewind back from the first video to this video, it's like, damn, son, I don't know. And you still got more to go, but you still haven't showed any proof that anything he's saying is a lie. You actually agree with everything he's saying. You just didn't like the way he said it, I guess.
Album sold 500,000 records and did 94,000 the first week. We was excited because us and Joel Santana came out at the same time, and both of us did around like 90 something thousand the first week. But I was the person that made sure that he was on that album. Now he could say, no, you didn't, but he wasn't there. He was in the halfway house while we was making this album. We took and went in everybody's hard drive. You know what I mean? We went in everybody's hard drive. You know what I mean? And picked out songs.
It to me was hate. When I saw him make that first video about me, I'm like, why? What the hell? I called you, bro. Why you make that video? No, old guy said, bro, you don't even know. He keeps saying the same thing about this, bro. To me, I hate that I ever met you. I hate that I ever knew you. I wish I never did. I wish you didn't know me. I wish I never put my feelings into you. I wish I never helped you. I wish all that stuff because it was for no reason. Because all I got out of this whole relationship was hate. Hate and snake. So you can easily talk about me. Do I owe you money? No.
It do be crazy though when you get blindsided by somebody that you really looked out for, that you really had genuine love for, and you just doing your thing. You not worried about nothing they doing because you focusing forward, and then you find out this little nigga, because I got little niggas that's older than me. You feel me? I got little niggas that's older than me that's back home, mad at me. Mad, saying, you wasn't a good leader. You ain't do this. You ain't do that. What did you do? You feel me? What did you do? Where is your life looking like? What's your life looking like? Is your life aligning with mine? Why are you worried about what I did or what I didn't do or what I couldn't do? Why didn't you help? Why wouldn't you be able to help and bring something to make it more prosperous for everybody? Because you couldn't do that. You ain't had that light inside of you. You know what I'm saying? All you had was negativity and darkness and hate and jealousy and envy. That's what it be, man. It be a lot of people got envy and jealousy inside of them because they not that. They ain't got that light inside of them. So, of course, they going to attach themselves to everybody that's they in their mind is popping. They can never see the person that actually helps them that's next to them as popping. They like, this nigga's all right, cool. Hopefully he gets his shit right and gets it in. You know what I mean? If he doesn't, I go fuck with somebody else.
Take a person like Wayno, if Dave East owe you $100,000, you will be talking about him. But you're scared to talk about him because he's from Harlem. You got to go back to Harlem. You can't hide in Atlanta forever. Or maybe you can. Maybe you can hide in Atlanta forever. But Dave East, you owe Dave East money. Dave East owe you money? Why don't you think you be talking about him? I don't owe you nothing. If anything, you owe me something, but I would never say you owe me nothing because I did it out the kindness in my heart.
Wow.
Right? Dave East owe me $100,000. Wow. He ain't had no money. He robbed some girl for $30,000 and all this. Bro, say a video about that instead of talking about me. Don't that make more sense? Bro, he owe you $100,000. He got a podcast. He's popping. You get more views doing that, but you scared. You got pics because you're a chump and a coward. And you're not my brother no more. I don't care about how you feel. Nothing. We don't have to ever talk again in life till we die. And in the next world, we don't got to talk even then. Because I'm done with all cowards and suckers and snakes. You just mad because you needed me and I didn't need you. So you can get money. You can have a 10 million.
Hey, yo, I'm going to have to clip that shit right there. That shit, I got a couple people that I need to send that shit to. That was fucking crazy. That was dope. Excuse my cursing and all that. Don't fuck my monetization up. I said it again. But anyway, yeah, we need to clip that joint right there, man. That's 2026 energy. All you snakes and you haters.
Now. I don't care if your wife see this. Was your wife there when you had your toes on my pillows on my couch? I hate light skin toes.
Oh, he said your wife there when you had your toes on my couch. I hate light skin toes.
On my pillows. I'm like, I can't go. I threw the pillow away. You're wiggling your toes on my couch. I come in the house, you snoring on my couch. You know what I'm saying? And you sit here act like I ain't never do nothing for you, and I'm this guy hard to love and all this. What you ever do for anybody? Nothing. I'm so appalled I ever knew you, bro. I swear to God on my life. Think you talking tough on the phone. I've been through more stuff than you. Bro, you ain't been through nothing.
Hey, this nigga is out of his mind, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100, bro. This nigga's out of his mind. Even him saying, I never told, I've been through more stuff than him. We gonna speak logically. I said, Oschino, you act as if because you went to prison for murders and you got shot and everything you went through. I said the person that first I ever heard stab, shot, and karate chop came from I said, you act like because you went through all of that nobody else is going through anything in their life. And I said, you don't know what I've gone through. You don't know what I've gone through. I might have not went through the shit that you've gone through, but you don't know what I've gone through, bro. Like, you have no idea the things that I've gone through in my life.
Yo, that's always facts, though. You know, when it comes to us as black people, black men, we like to compete, though. I ain't gonna hold you. I've been guilty of that. You know what I mean? I can't erase everything that somebody else has been through just because I feel like my trauma or whatever I got in my life and my journey has been harder than yours. I can't erase your situation. Got to be empathetic to that just a little bit. But you got to know who the leader is, man. And you got to also understand if I did some things for you, it don't take a lot for you to show gratitude. It don't show it. Like, you got to show gratitude to the people that's helped you, to the people that showed love to you and made your path what it is. Because I'm not going to say there would have been no you without them, but would you be exactly where you are right now without that? Nah, it's part of the story. So you should be a little bit more grateful. You should have more gratitude. I have gratitude towards everybody in my life at this point. It took me a minute to get here. I'm about to be 40. It took me a minute to get here, but we here now. You know what I'm saying? Give love to everybody. Show flowers to people. All of that. It don't cost you nothing. It don't cost you a thing.
And that's what made him mad. That's what made him mad. That's what made him mad. Because I told him, I never said I went through more stuff than you. He said, what you went through? I said, see, that's the difference between me and you. I'm not going to compare my hardships to yours. Because I have more in my life than my hardships. Everything
that's corny, though. For you to tell somebody some shit and then not be able to expand on it, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. You might be a narcissist, man. You might not even know it, but like he said, you could be also a hater as well, and you don't know it because you don't know what traits come with hating. But that sounds crazy for you to have a whole statement and not actually be able to supply the actual ideas behind it. Like, what makes you, what did you go through? You should be able to tell me that if I'm telling you and you know my life.
Going through is not define everything that I am. It's a part of my story. But I'm not going to sit here and minimize anything anybody else is going through based on what I went through or not. See, that's the thing. Because you've been shot, because you've been in jail, because you've gone through all of these hard, traumatic situations, you make as if nobody's going through anything because they haven't gone through what you've gone through. And that's the difference. While we was on this phone, you know what I mean? While we was on this phone, said, and that's the thing. And even down to the Davey shit. Let's get to it, right? Even down to
I think that's a big issue that people do have, man. I mean, you should be able to look at somebody that went through a lot more than you and actually be like, man, that's crazy. That's dope. How did you get through that? What's so hard about that? Why does it have to be a competition? It should not always have to be a competition. I think we really lost the root of how we used to operate. You know what I'm saying? At times, if a person been through a lot more than me, I'm going to ask them questions, try to learn. And if it's negative, I'm going to learn so I don't go through that myself. I'm not going to look at it like, hey, well, I know you've been through all the crazy things you've been through, but what about me? That sounds feminine, man. That sounds feminine, bro. I ain't going to hold you.
Davey shit. Like I said, and I said it before, I'm going to say it again. I never spoke on East and me problems as far as our financial problems because he was still doing him. And I said, yo, you know what? I'm not going to go that route because I looked at Dave as a brother. I took Dave to take his Shahada. I used to go to Juma with Dave every Friday. Me and Dave prayed together in Japan at Juma. And for all of the shit that we went through, I said, I'm not going to put myself in no position to talk about that publicly. The only reason why I even brought up the Dave shit 2-0 is because he was talking about what Charlie Mack and what Freeway had done to him. And I said, man, that's the shit, type of shit that happened with money. You know what I mean? This is the type of shit that happens with money. And I said, yeah, this is a situation I went through. You know what I mean? Like I went through. And like I said it before, I say it again. I shared that in confidentiality. Scared of in Harlem? Cause he from Harlem? Yo, what? What? You gotta watch people that fall out with everybody. You gotta watch people that fall out with everybody. If everything you've ever had going on in your life, you fall out with everybody, you gotta watch those type of people. Those people that always got a different manager, always got a different crew, don't fuck with nobody.
Again, it seems like this nigga was waiting for this energy, waiting for your downfall, for you to talk negative on him, man. I've been heard not one positive thing out this dude's mouth. You holding on to something. Something happened to you when it comes to Oschino. Maybe it's multiple things that really, really bothers you when you bottled up inside, and this is how you expressing it. And you not keeping it a buck. And everybody can see it. Everybody that's watching this shit sees that the inconsistencies with you. Everything you're saying is validating everything that Oschino's saying. It's weird. It's very weird, bro. Maybe you got to go back to the drawing board. I know you said you're not going to address this shit more than one time, but you might need to. You might need to.
Etc. Like I said, I never came up here to disrespect Oschino. Because I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't. But for him to try to paint me as I'm trying to be some tough guy, and I told you, your man not going to call me no pussy on no phone, bro. Because I'm not no pussy. And you checked them about that. See, you didn't.
That whole, I ain't going to come up here and disrespect Oschino. It sound like no disrespect, and then the disrespect follows. That's what that shit sound to me.
You didn't explain that after your man said that you said, nah, I'm going to check him about that. Like Knox said, I'm going to check him about that. Y'all ain't say that. You know what I mean? You ain't say none of that shit. Y'all niggas ain't say about how when a nigga said what he said to me, how y'all both said, nah, we going to check that about you. See, while we were on the phone, every time we was getting to a good place because Mike was calming down. Mike was calming O down. O like to talk the same way he talking. People talks over people. And I allowed him to talk, and I said, yo, all right, let me speak. And then when it's my turn to speak, I would go to speak. And when I go to speak, it's a trigger word. The trigger word could be couch. Let's say the trigger word is couch. I'd be like, yeah, because I'm sitting on the couch. You slept on my couch. I'm like, yo, bro, you don't want to hear nothing. Like, you at the point where you don't want to hear nothing. You don't want to hear nothing. You don't want to talk about nothing. And I say, yo, you know what? It's cool. You can call me all the haters you want. I don't care. You can call me a hater. You can say I never did nothing for you. I never did nothing. All that. That's cool. We don't have to speak ever again in life. Me speaking with him didn't benefit me anyway in my life. So him saying he did all this for me, in another video, this nigga said he did more for me than my father. That nigga never met my father. When my father died, I didn't get no call. I lost my father September 25th of 2020. I lost my aunt in January of 2020. I lost my grandmother in March of 2020, 2 weeks after my mother's birthday.
Man, this shit is getting a little too crazy, too personal. And I haven't heard nothing positive in this whole situation. It's sounding like Oschino had some valid points. I haven't heard any points out of Wayno's mouth. Everything he's saying, it just sounds like you have an issue with bro. That's what I took. I took from this whole hour and 45-minute situation. I'm not going to watch the rest of the video. I hope that y'all piece it up. I hope y'all get a call going. And I pray for y'all, man. I really pray that y'all find peace in y'all situation and able to hash out whatever is really the problem. And that's what people have an issue with. They know what the problem is. Will they speak on that? Nah, they're going to speak on other things, and it's going to come out in other ways, and it's going to look negative. It's going to sound negative. It's going to feel negative. And the other person is like, yo, what the hell? I ain't know what was going on. Like, I ain't never hear nothing like that. You ain't never said nothing like that to me. Because you holding and bottling that shit in. That's what really happens. I ain't never been a person to do that. If I got smoke with you, you're already going to know. You're going to feel that. That energy is immediate because I can't I'm not able to hold on to emotions and all of that. I address that shit right away. That's just me. The most I might hold on to something is maybe a week at the max. And that might be with my girl, with my wife. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to men, I'm not even going to put myself in a position where I feel uncomfortable. And that's like you gotta check people, man. If you feel uncomfortable about certain things, don't wait to say something later on. Don't wait to get in front of a camera to talk about something that made you uncomfortable. Tell the actual person. Speak. Let your emotions out. It's always better when you do it at the time you need to do it instead of holding on to everything, because that just builds more residual issues, as you can see. Anyway, y'all know what it is, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the live. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, the notification bell. Make sure y'all hit like. I'm going to be coming at y'all I'm dropping stuff every single day. So lock in. Numbers Don't Lie Network. We here. And we're going to have some exclusive interviews as well.